Welcome to The Spotlight, the podcast where veterans and military spouses connect and share how their military experience has transformed their lives and their businesses. Here's your host, Bob Louthen.
Hey, this is your host, Bob Louthen, founder of the VeteranCrowd Network, the network that brings veterans and veteran-led businesses together with each other and the resources they need to prosper. And you are tuning into The Spotlight.
Welcome, everybody. This is Bob Louthen, host of the Spotlight on the VeteranCrowd Network. I am going to have some fun today. Not only do we get to talk with a veteran, but we get to talk about my favorite pastime, which is the game of golf. Billy Hurley, a U.S. Naval Academy grad, surface warfare officer, class 2004, and a professional golfer, also the head of the Billy Hurley III Foundation. And we're going to be talking about the Brave Golf Tournament. Billy, welcome to the program. Thank you for stepping into the spotlight.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
So I'm going to start. We got to go back. When did you first pick up a golf club, and who taught you how to play golf?
My dad taught me how to play. I have no memory of the first time that I picked up a club because I was 2 or 3 years old. My dad was a good player. He played in college himself and still played a lot when I was younger. And so my first memories of golf are riding along in the cart while my dad was playing with his friends, and I would chip balls to the sprinkler heads on the side of the greens while they were putting out, and maybe I'd get to hit, 2 or 3 shots during the day, but kind of just hanging out with him and chipping around the greens while he was putting and playing with his group.
Golf is absolutely a game my father taught me. I played with my brothers. I've taught my sons how to play, and we can play well into our 80s and 90s if the people on the golf course will tolerate us. So, it is just the greatest game ever. What is your best golf memory? I mean, you must have a ton of them. I mean, I've seen a picture of you either handing a trophy or receiving a trophy from Tiger Woods. So, there's got to be a few things that stand out.
Yeah, I mean, that one's up there. That's Tiger giving me the trophy when I won the tournament that he hosts in 2016. But yeah, so I mean, obviously that's up there, right? I mean, winning on the PGA Tour is huge, and really is kind of life changing in a sense as far as what opportunities are available to you down the road, and starting out thinking about how I got into the game brings up a memory of playing with my dad and my grandfather, and we used to always take a trip to Minnesota in the summer, and we would play golf in the morning and we would go fishing in the afternoon. And I remember, I think it was maybe the first par I ever made, and it was the 18th hole. If I have it all right, I mean, this is 25, 30 years ago now, but if I have it all right, it was Headwaters Country Club in Minnesota, northern part of Minnesota, and the par 5, and I was 10, 11, 12, something like that. And I hit driver, 3-wood, 7-iron to about 12 feet and made the putt. And so I remember that, probably from the ladies' tees too. I mean, it was 10, 12 years old, playing it. Didn't hit it anywhere, but I remember, driver, 3-wood, 7-iron, and made a putt for par.
I've had one hole-in-one in my life in 55 years of playing golf. How many aces have you had? I'm just curious. There's got to be.
I have 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first one?
3 of them on the PGA Tour.
Oh.
The first one, I do remember the first one. Yeah. The worst part about the first 2 hole-in-ones I made is that they weren't good golf shots. The first one I thinned the 5-iron. I think I was in like late high school, and I
Did
I
the
thinned
worm
the
burner
5-iron.
and it ran up there?
It wasn't quite that low, but I thinned it to the front edge, and it kind of bounced on and trickled up and into the cup.
Oh man. And any one of the three on the tour stand out? I mean, did you do 16 at Augusta, something fun
No,
like that?
unfortunately, none of them in Augusta. That was probably the one that stands out the most on tour was I made a one. Let's see, I don't remember what year it was. 2018, maybe, something like that. Maybe before that. At any rate, but it was in the alternate shot portion of the Zurich Classic. Now the team event. So it was maybe the first year of the team event there, and I made an ace on 17, which is an incredible 222 yards or something, and just hit a perfect,
Wow.
kind of draw into the back left pin, and it kind of chased in there. You hear the crowd kind of go crazy, but I made my partner pick it out of the hole, because it's alternate shots, so it's his turn to play now, right? So,
Right.
about 50% of people on the green thought that my partner made the ace, not me. So it's kind of fun.
So I think my hole in one was 123 yards with a pitching wedge. So, not exactly the 200-yard shot.
A one.
Believe me, my playing partners made me buy the beer after it was all over with. So
That's right.
it was definitely official. You're currently the only U.S. Naval Academy grad and U.S. veteran on the tour. I want to say KJ Choi is a veteran of the South Korean military, but I did a little bit of research on this, and I found out that there've been some other very famous veterans who've been golfers. Bobby Jones enlisted in World War II at the age of 40. Arnold Palmer was in the Coast Guard. Lee Trevino is a Marine. Larry Nelson learned golf while he was in the Army in Vietnam, of all places. That's when he picked up golf. Orville Moody and Ben Hogan was a flight instructor in World War II. I think there's been a total of 11, at least by my searching. But what a distinguished group that you belong to.
Yeah, well, they're certainly all better golfers than I am, as far as their professional records and amateur records in the case of Bobby Jones. But yeah, it is a small group. So I kind of I hang on to the tag that I'm kind of in the modern era, the only veteran to play.
That's right.
Kind of thing. There are, I joke about it, but there are some other guys who have played professionally from academies. None of them have made it to the tour yet. There's two guys on the Korn Ferry Tour from the Air Force Academy. But obviously that's an easier school and they don't do as much, and so it's it just seems like their golf game should be
absolutely
better.
expect you to say that. I mean, gosh, thank God the Air Force has the Coast Guard to pick on. I guess I don't, but that's the great thing about getting veterans together. I know things are going well at a veteran event when they start insulting each other. So
that's right. Yeah, you just pick right up into that. It's just how it works, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, you played golf at the Naval Academy. Why though? How did you end up at the Naval Academy? You grew up in Leesburg, Virginia. How did you wind up at the Naval Academy?
So I honestly, Bob, I have no idea why I got interested in the Naval Academy. I can't remember what it was that initially said, hey, I want to look into this place. But my mom tells me I told her that in 8th grade that I wanted to go to the Naval Academy, and I don't remember that. But what I do remember is after my freshman year of high school in 9th grade, I got a tour of the Naval Academy from retired Vice Admiral Charles Mentor, who was the father of one of my dad's really good friends. And Admiral Mentor was a naval aviator, and he was superintendent of the Naval Academy before he retired. And he lived in Annapolis after he retired until he passed away a couple of years ago. But he gave me a tour of the academy, and I just fell in love with it. It was just kind of, that's what I wanted to do. That's where I wanted to go. It was kind of hook, line, and sinker, so to speak, for me. And that's kind of from that moment forward, I set my path to get into the Naval Academy. And I actually only applied to one school going into college. I was only one place I wanted to go. And so, I mean, thankfully I got in early and kind of had a little assurance of knowing that was gonna work out. But it was the only place I wanted to go, and the only thing that I wanted to do.
You won 7, I think, championships while you were at the Naval Academy. Where did they recruit you to be on the golf team, or was it, you know?
Yeah, I kind of recruited myself, because like I said, from the time I was, basically 15 years old, I wanted to go to the Naval Academy. And so, I kind of
this is
contacted the coach.
This is tongue in cheek, but they didn't send you to NAPS to give you an extra year to get better or something, did they?
No, I was thankfully I was pretty good at math and science, so we kind of went right in for that. Yeah, NAPS, man, those guys do like plebe year twice. I can't figure that one out.
How many did you have second thoughts during that plebe summer about your decision making?
Yes and no. I mean, it was, there were times where it was like, why the heck am I, why did I sign up for this? But like everything else in the boot camp and the service, it passes quickly and you're on to the next thing, and you kind of just keep putting one foot in front of the other until it's over.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Billy Hurley Foundation and the Brave Golf Tournament.
Honor, duty, service. At the VeteranCrowd Network, we're focused on our next mission, bringing veterans, veteran-operated businesses, and veteran service organizations together with each other and the resources they need to prosper. That's why we are launching the VeteranCrowd Rewards Program, exclusively for our individual and corporate members. Now you can save on travel, restaurants, goods, and services from brands you trust online and at over 900,000 locations nationwide. Find out more today at VeteranCrowdNetwork.com. If you are a veteran-operated business, or a VSO, consider the connections, the network, the benefits, the engagement, and success of working with other veterans again. The VeteranCrowd Network, you paid a lot of dues to join this club.
Hey, you're listening to the Spotlight on the VeteranCrowd Network. My guest, Billy Hurley, Naval Academy grad, class of 2004, and professional golfer. Billy, I want to talk about your foundation first, and then I want to talk about the Brave Golf Tournament, which I think is coming up May 16th. But
That's right.
Tell us about the Billy Hurley III Foundation.
Well, my wife and I created the foundation almost 5 years ago now, and it really just stemmed out of our personal experience, both in the Navy and subsequently on the PGA Tour. And so at the foundation, we focus on active duty families. Our mission is to serve, honor, and enhance the lives of military families. The idea is that we're going to serve those who are serving alongside. When I was in the Navy on my last ship, we had our first child, and I deployed 6 months later, and my wife was a single mom for the better part of 2 years on that tour. And it really just kind of opened our eyes, like, to the idea that the whole family, serves in the military. It's kind of not just the service member, right? And so then when we had the chance to give back and we had the chance to think about, what we wanted to be involved in, that was kind of what jumped out to us. I'm just a normal guy who did 5 years active duty, went to work every day, came home, on non-duty days and non-deployment days, right? And I've got all my fingers, all my toes. Don't have anything really in that regard, like so many do. But so we kind of just looked at what can we do for people who are kind of just like us, kind of normal average, everyday, sailors. In our case, we're not exclusive to any service, but obviously, my contacts lead us to focus primarily inside the Navy at this point. But yeah, so we just try and do things to help families. We have a scholarship for dependents that we've set up for secondary education, college education, and then we do vacations, and this is kind of where the idea of coming out of the PGA Tour kind of merged with the giving back to active duty. Is my kids have done so many crazy things, that I frankly I wouldn't pay for. I wouldn't do or think to do myself. But the tournaments treat our kids and our wives, better than they treat us sometimes. And so we just kind of looked at that and said, can we do some of that same stuff for military families? And so we have rolled out an initiative to where we kind of are able to give away some vacation experiences to active duty families.
That's just great. Can you share a story of like one of the folks that's been a beneficiary of your foundation?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. We've had I mean, everybody's terrific that we've gotten to work with, and I think that's been one of the fun things to do, is like, work with people who are thankful and really, just like people who do a good job at their job, in the Navy and on ships. No one person jumps out at me. I mean, we get so many great applicants for our programs that it's a hard decision making, because there's so many people that are, hard chargers and guys and gals in the Navy that we're selecting from a pool of really qualified people to award our awards and honor our families. So I mean, I think that there's one guy in our last round awards. There was a clear kind of winner in my mind. I mean, we awarded a number of these vacation things, but there was definitely a clear winner, just as ET3 Merrick on USS Chaffee, and he just from everything that he was doing on board the ship, his letters of recommendation that his chain of command sent us, it was really apparent that he was a hard charger and doing kind of above and beyond, and then he had 3 kids and a wife at home, and that kind of stuff, and he was on deployment when they applied for the award, and I think that they just had they have their vacation maybe this weekend. I can't keep track of all the dates, but I think that they're coming up for a couple night getaway as a family.
We've got a golf tournament coming up on May the 16th. You call it the Brave Golf Tournament. It's going to be at TPC Potomac at Avenel Farms, right?
We played there last year. This year we're back at the Naval Academy golf course, actually.
Okay, so let's talk about that golf tournament.
Yeah, so that's our primary fundraiser for the foundation, is basically what it is, and it's not like any other kind of charity fundraiser you've played in, and the reason why is because instead of inviting 10 of my friends or 15 of my tour pro friends to kind of be the pro and the celebrity in the group and whatever, what we actually do is invite 18 active duty service members, and we have kind of an all expenses paid trip for them to come to the event and play in the event, and so that's been really neat to another way that we give back in the same time as we are kind of generating the revenue to do some of the other stuff for the foundation. We're also giving back to active duty service members. So the way we do that is through Billy Hurley III Foundation Golfer of the Year award. And that's on my website. It's we're still accepting applications for that through March 11th.
Have there been some past winners of that that you could talk about?
It's been, let's see, this will be our 5th year. So, so we've got 72 guys who have come through in the first 4 years, and we've had everywhere from E3 to 06 participate. We've had. And
then the golfer of the year is a service member that is selected.
That's right. So we select 18 golfer of the year,
right. Okay.
and that's how we then, we choose from the pool of applicants to the 18. So it's awarded to 18 individuals annually to kind of be a part of our, tournament. And, it's based, the application's based both on, exceptional performance as a service member and a love of the game of golf. So we kind of have a bit of an essay question on both of those to kind of see where they stand. Like I said, so it's not, you don't have to be a good golfer to apply. We've had 20 handicaps and we've had 3 handicaps play before, and you just have to be active duty. That's just the one thing that we've gotten a little flack, and I know I'm in the VeteranCrowd network right now, so it's unfortunately it's not open to the veteran community because our foundation has decided to focus in the active duty space. But I'm confident that every veteran listening knows an active duty service member as well who might benefit from this opportunity. And so I think
there are also lots of sponsorship opportunities, and I'm going to reach out right now to the veterans and say, this would be something you should consider for sponsorships. How do people get in touch? How do people learn about the tournament? How do the veterans that are out there want to support your foundation, look at the sponsorship opportunities for the golf tournament and beyond?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all on my website, which is billyhurley3.com. So that's Billy Hurley and the number 3.com. And there's a link up on the top to the Brave tournament. There's a link on the top to awards, which is where you would apply for the Golfer of the Year award in that way to take part. And then if you want to just go straight to the golf tournament stuff, you can link through it in the aforementioned website, but you could also just go to bh3.golf. So
we're going to put links to 3. We're going to put links to all of these things in the show notes and make sure that we're out there pushing this. I want to hit one final topic for us before we wrap up. And, I think golf teaches a lot of life lessons. I think service in the military teaches a lot of life lessons. I wonder if you see some parallels between the game and between the disciplines that you got in the military. You don't play golf against your opponent, right? You play golf against yourself, right?
You do. Yeah. I think 2 things that I kind of, that really kind of mesh together from the service, maybe 3 that have really served me well. But one is time management. It's no different in the academy and the Navy than on tour. Like there's too much to practice. There's too much to do to do it all. So you have to kind of really decide what's most important to practice on and what's most important to do. And then mental toughness. I tell people you're either mentally tough or you're not at the Naval Academy very long. That's just kind of how that works, right? And that's, same thing in golf. You're talking about, you don't play against your opponents, you kind of play against yourself, right? You play against the golf course, and golf course beats you up a lot. This game's hard, and the amount of, in a given tournament week, I might hit 5 golf shots that I hit exactly how I wanted to. Everything else is just, how small can you miss it? Kind of thing, right? You don't hit a lot of perfect golf shots, but you have to try really, really, really hard, or you're going to hit terrible golf shots. So it's kind of this weird thing of you have to try hard all the time. And your success rate, your true success rate, of getting an A+ is very low. And so it's a lot of kind of functional golf shots, that kind of just get you around the golf course. And so you have to be able to bounce back, right? You have to be able to stay engaged. You have to be able to be kind of mentally tough. And then the thing that those ones kind of make sense, right? Like you kind of, but the thing that I didn't necessarily think about until I played a little bit overseas was how much traveling in the Navy, port calls, doing all this stuff in foreign country really made me excel when I've gone overseas for golf tournaments. So many of the other players are, after 4 or 5 days, just want to get back to America and have a hamburger. And I just, because of the experience that I gained in the Navy of traveling and different cultures and all that stuff, I've had some good finishes in overseas events. I think because I was just a little bit more adept to the travel and to the different culture stuff.
Great story. And I think that just staying calm in stressful situations,
No question.
It is just a big thing. Well, listen, Billy, it's been great to have you on the program. Thank you for stepping into the spotlight. I really appreciate what you're doing. Like I said, we'll put links to the golf tournament and the foundation on the show notes, and put other ways for you to reach out and support what Billy Hurley's doing. Billy, again, thank you for stepping into the spotlight.
Thanks, Bob. Pleasure to be with you guys.
You've been listening to the Spotlight on the Veteran Crowd Network. Our guest has been Billy Hurley, U.S. Naval Academy grad, class of 2004, and professional golfer on the PGA Tour. Billy, I'm going to throw out an Army Bravo Zulu to you for your performance today. I love talking about golf. It's been a great time. Thank you so much for being on the program, folks, and that's a wrap.
Thank you for listening to Spotlight by VeteranCrowd. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information and uploads, please visit our website at VeteranCrowdNetwork.com. We'll see you next time.